Hello and welcome back to Mr. English Lab. My name is Emma, and I'm here to guide you on your journey to clear, confident, and natural English. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a lesson. Your support truly helps this channel grow. Alright, take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin today's session. Listen closely, because this story begins in a very simple place. It begins in a quiet room, early in the morning, when the sun is still soft and the world is still slow. And maybe, if you listen carefully, you can hear something familiar inside the story, something that feels like your own life. Because this is a story about motivation. This is a story about how you can stay motivated every single day, even when life feels heavy, even when your English feels difficult, even when your heart feels tired. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and imagine that you and I are sitting together like friends inside a calm and peaceful morning. This is Mr. English Lab, and today we begin a journey together. Imagine this. You wake up before your alarm. It is quiet. The sky is a soft blue, almost gray. Maybe you sit on the edge of your bed. Maybe your hair is a little messy. Maybe your eyes feel heavy. And you think to yourself, do I really want to study today? The thought is small, but it is there. It moves slowly in your mind like a cloud. You want to improve your English. You want to speak naturally. You want to feel confident when you talk to people. But sometimes motivation feels like a candle that is almost out of fire. Sometimes you want to do everything, and sometimes you want to do nothing at all. This morning is one of those mornings. The kind where the world feels still. And for a moment, you just sit there, listening to silence. And you think, why do I feel like this? Why is it so hard to stay motivated every day? You touch your face. You breathe. You stretch your fingers. And suddenly, something small happens. You remember a thought. A single, simple thought. You remember why you started. Maybe you started learning English because you want a better job. Maybe you want to move to a new country. Maybe you want to travel alone and speak with people easily. Maybe you want to understand movies, or talk to your children, or build a new life. Or maybe, very quietly, you want to believe in yourself again. Whatever your reason is, it lives inside you like a tiny light. And this morning, that little light wakes up. Not strong, not loud, but soft. Warm, gentle. And you feel something. Something small, but real. A spark. You stand up from your bed. You walk to the window. The light of the morning touches your face. And you whisper in your mind, okay, maybe today I can try again. And that is where our story truly begins. You see, motivation is not a fire that stays strong every day. It is not a mountain. It is not a storm. It is not something huge or powerful. Motivation is soft. It is gentle. It is like breath. It comes and goes. And that is normal. But the beautiful thing, the thing most people do not understand, is that motivation grows when you move. Not when you wait, not when you think, not when you hope, but when you move. So in this story, I want to take you on a journey. A long, simple journey. And together we will walk through moments of doubt, moments of courage, moments of discovery, and moments of quiet reflection. You will hear English that is soft and simple, like a friend speaking slowly to you. You will feel emotions that are calm and easy to understand. And in the end, you will not only improve your listening, you will understand how to stay motivated every single day. So, let's return to the story. You walk to your kitchen. You pour a cup of water, maybe tea, maybe coffee. You hold the warm cup in your hands. And as the steam rises, you think about yesterday. Yesterday, you wanted to study English. Yesterday, you wanted to practice speaking. Yesterday, you said to yourself, tomorrow I will work hard. But today arrived, and you feel tired. Why? What happened? This question is something many people ask themselves. And maybe you ask yourself too. Why do I lose motivation so fast? Why do I feel excited one day and weak the next? Why can't I stay consistent? These questions are heavy, but the answers are simple. It is because you are human. It is because your mind becomes tired. It is because your life is busy, and it is because motivation is not magic. Motivation is a habit, a practice, a muscle. Something you build every day, piece by piece, little by little. And today, even though you feel tired, even though you feel slow, you make one small choice. You decide to sit down and listen. You decide to take one step. Just one. And that one step will slowly create another. And another. And another. This is how motivation grows. But the question remains, how do you keep this feeling every day? How do you make motivation soft but strong, gentle but steady? This is what our story will explore. And this morning scene, this slow beginning, is only the first chapter. As you sit at your table with your cup in your hand, you look outside. The sun rises a little higher. A bird flies across the sky. A small sound touches your heart. And you whisper again in your mind, it's okay. I can begin slowly. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to try. And at that moment, something changes. Not in the world. Not in the sky. But inside you. Inside your chest. Inside your breathing. Inside your thoughts. A small door opens. A quiet path appears. And you feel ready. Not strong, not powerful, but gently ready to take the next step. And this next step is simple. You begin your day with one question. What is one small thing I can do today to stay motivated? You don't need a big answer. You don't need a long plan. You don't need perfect discipline. Just one small thing. One small moment. One small action. And this action becomes the beginning of your new habit, your new story, your new way of learning English with calm motivation every day. But here is where the story becomes interesting. Because when you ask yourself that question, you suddenly remember a moment from your past. A moment when motivation felt easy. A moment when you felt excited, happy, alive. And that memory pulls you in like a soft wind. You close your eyes and you go back in time. Now imagine yourself in that memory. Maybe it was a classroom. Maybe it was your first English lesson. Maybe it was a trip. Maybe it was a conversation with a stranger who smiled at you. Or maybe it was a simple moment when you understood a word, or a sentence, or a joke in English, and you felt proud. That feeling, that warm, proud feeling comes back to you now. And you realize something important. Motivation begins with emotion. Motivation begins with feeling. Motivation begins with a reason. And you still have that reason. You still carry it inside you. So as you open your eyes, you feel something new. Not strong. Not dramatic. Not big. But gentle. And that gentle feeling tells you, you can begin again today. And so you do. This is how your story begins. A quiet morning. A tired mind. A small question. A soft memory. And a new beginning. Hold this moment. Because soon, the real challenge will come, and the real journey will begin. The next part of our story begins not with excitement, and not with energy, but with something much more common, something you know very well. Routine. The simple, everyday routine that repeats again and again, like a quiet circle. And inside this routine, motivation often becomes small, almost invisible. But today, as we continue your journey, something different happens. Something soft. Something important. And it all begins the moment you decide to sit down at your table, hold your warm cup, breathe slowly, and say to yourself, okay, I'm ready to try. You place your cup on the table. You look around your room. Everything looks normal. Your chair, your notebook, your phone, your favorite pen. All these small things are part of your daily life. They are familiar. But today, they feel a little different. Not because they changed, but because you changed, even if only a little. You have a tiny spark of motivation inside you now. And that tiny spark changes the way you see everything around you. You sit down slowly. Your chair makes a soft sound. You open your notebook. The pages feel smooth under your fingers. Maybe yesterday's writing is still there, a few words, a few sentences, maybe a mistake or two that made you feel embarrassed. But today, you look at those mistakes and you do not feel the same pain. Today you feel calm. You think, this is okay. Mistakes mean I tried. And today I will try again. This gentle acceptance is the beginning of real, long-term motivation. Because motivation is not loud. Motivation is not a big fire. Real motivation is like warm water. It moves slowly. It touches everything. It fills you little by little. And once it enters your routine, everything becomes easier. But routine is not simple. Routine is like walking through a quiet forest with many small paths. Every path looks the same, so sometimes it is easy to lose direction. Sometimes you walk without thinking. Sometimes you forget where you want to go. And sometimes you look up and realize you walked for days, but you are still in the same place. This is what happens with English learning too. You study, you listen, you practice, you repeat, and still, your progress feels slow. And on some days, you ask yourself, why am I not improving? Why is everything so difficult? Why does everyone else sound better than me? These are heavy thoughts. Thoughts that can break motivation. Thoughts that can make you stop. But today, something different happens. You do not push these thoughts away. You do not fight them. You simply listen. You hear them. You let them move through your mind like clouds passing through the sky. And you answer them gently. It's okay. I don't need to be perfect today. I just need to take one small step. This is the heart of motivation, not big goals, not big dreams. Not big pressure, just one small step. So you open your notebook again. You pick up your pen. You start writing very slowly, maybe one word, maybe one sentence, maybe even your name. And something interesting happens. The moment you write that first word, your routine becomes softer. Your mind becomes calmer. Your heart becomes lighter. Because you are no longer thinking about yesterday or tomorrow. You are here. In this moment. Taking this step. You breathe deeply again. The air feels a little warmer now. And then you hear something, a familiar sound. Maybe traffic outside. Maybe a neighbor walking upstairs. Maybe a bird singing. Life continues around you. Quiet, simple, steady. You are not alone. You are part of this everyday world. And this world keeps moving, even when motivation feels small. And this gives you a new thought. A soft, but powerful thought. If the world keeps moving, maybe I can keep moving too. So you continue writing. You continue listening. You continue sitting with your cup. And slowly, your routine begins to transform. It is no longer a heavy circle. It is no longer a boring path. It becomes a rhythm. Your rhythm. A slow but steady rhythm that helps motivation grow inside you, softly, quietly, naturally. But in every story, even in a peaceful morning, even in a calm routine, a challenge always comes. Something small. Something silent. Something that appears when you least expect it. It happens when your phone lights up. A message. A notification. A small beep. At first you ignore it. But then your mind becomes curious. You look at your phone. You see a message from a friend. The message says something like, "Good morning," or "Are you free today?" or "Did you finish your work yet?" Simple messages. Normal messages. But suddenly, your mind becomes full again. You think of responsibilities. You think of tasks. You think of things you must do, and the warm, calm motivation you just began to build starts to fade. You feel it inside your chest. A tiny pressure. A little stress. A quiet worry. And slowly, your routine becomes heavy again. You put your pen down. You sit back in your chair. You look at your cup, but the warmth feels far away now. And you think, why is it so hard to stay focused? Why does something always interrupt me? Why can't I stay motivated for more than a few minutes? You close your eyes, and for a moment, you feel like giving up. But here is where the magic of routine appears, because in this moment of frustration, something gentle rises inside you again. A memory, a thought, a short sentence you heard long ago, something like, "You do not lose progress when you pause. You lose progress only when you stop." You repeat the sentence quietly. You feel it, you understand it, you breathe it in. And slowly, very slowly, the pressure inside you melts a little. You open your eyes again. You look at your notebook. You look at your pen. And you whisper, "It's okay. I can continue." This is motivation. This is the real skill you are learning today. Not vocabulary. Not grammar. Not pronunciation. You are learning how to continue. Even when your routine breaks, you are learning how to return. Even after you pause, you are learning how to move, even when you feel stuck. So you pick up your pen again. You take a sip of your warm drink. You breathe, and you begin again. And something amazing happens when you do this. Your routine becomes a friend, not a burden, not a prison, not a chore. A friend. A friend that waits for you every day, without judgment. A friend that says, "Welcome back." A friend that says, "Let's continue." A friend that says, "It's okay to be slow." And slowly, your routine becomes stronger. Your motivation becomes quieter, but deeper. Your steps become small, but steady, and you begin to realize something important. You do not need to feel motivated to continue. You just need to continue to feel motivated. This realization is soft, but it changes everything. You understand now that motivation is created by action, not the other way around. You understand that your routine does not need to be perfect. It just needs to exist. You understand that every small moment, sitting down, writing one word, listening to one sentence, is part of a bigger journey. Your journey. And this journey is only beginning. Because soon, very soon, you will face a moment that tests you. A moment that asks you to choose between stopping or continuing. A moment that asks you to trust yourself or doubt yourself. And in that moment, everything you have built, your calm morning, your quiet acceptance, your soft motivation, your gentle routine, will rise inside you like a warm light. But we are not there yet. Right now, you sit in your chair, you breathe. You smile softly and you whisper to yourself, "I am doing okay. I am learning. I am growing. And I can stay motivated. One small step at a time." The story continues later in the day, when the soft morning light has turned into a brighter afternoon. The world outside your window is louder now. Cars pass on the street. People walk quickly. A child laughs somewhere in the distance. Life is awake. Life is busy. And inside this busy world, you sit with your notebook open, your pen resting on the page, and a small feeling beginning to grow inside your chest. A feeling you know very well. A feeling that visits you often. Doubt. It starts small. Very small. Like a tiny whisper inside your mind. Are you sure you can do this? Your English is still slow. You still make mistakes. Maybe we'll never speak confidently. The whisper is gentle at first. Quiet. Almost nothing. But slowly, the whisper becomes louder. It becomes clearer. It becomes a voice you cannot ignore. And as the afternoon light grows stronger, that voice grows stronger too. You look at your notebook again. You look at the words you wrote in the morning. Suddenly those words feel weak. They feel small. They feel childish. You think, this is not good enough. Why am I still struggling? Why is my progress so slow? You feel a small heaviness in your stomach. You feel a little pressure behind your eyes. And for a moment, your hands want to close the notebook. Your body wants to stand up. Your mind wants to walk away. Because sometimes walking away is easier than staying. Sometimes stopping feels easier than continuing. And here, in this quiet moment of doubt, Your motivation becomes very, very small. But this moment is important, because this moment is the test every learner faces, the test every dream must pass, the test every journey carries. Doubt is not your enemy. Doubt is your teacher. And today, doubt has arrived to give you a lesson that will help you stay motivated for the rest of your life. But before the lesson, before the understanding, before the change, we must stay inside this moment a little longer. You close your eyes. The world becomes soft again. You hear only your breathing. And suddenly, you remember something from years ago. A moment when you were very young. A moment when you were trying something new. Maybe riding a bicycle. Maybe learning to swim. Maybe speaking in front of a class. And in that moment, you also felt doubt. You also felt fear. You also felt weak. But you continued. You tried again. You fell. You stood up. You tried again. And slowly, you learned. This memory comes back to you like a soft wave. You feel it in your heart. You feel it in your chest. You feel it in your breathing. And you realize something important. Everything you can do today was once something you could not do. This simple truth changes the color of the moment. The heaviness inside you becomes a little lighter. The pressure behind your eyes becomes softer. The voice of doubt becomes quieter. You open your eyes slowly. You look at your notebook again. And the words you wrote earlier no longer look like mistakes. They look like steps. They look like progress. They look like pieces of your journey. But doubt is still there. Not gone. Just waiting. And doubt asks you one more question, a big one. A question that touches the deepest part of your heart. Why are you learning English? You sit back in your chair. You breathe. You think. And the answer comes slowly. Not one answer, but many. Because you want to communicate. Because you want to grow. Because you want a better life. Because you want to travel. Because you want to feel confident. Because you want to understand the world. Because learning a language makes you feel alive. And the biggest reason of all, because you made a promise to yourself. A promise that you will not give up. A promise that you will keep going. A promise that you will take small steps every day, even on days full of doubt. This promise becomes a warm light inside your chest. A soft glow. A gentle fire. And slowly, you lift your pen again. You write one more word. One more sentence. One more small step. And the moment you do, everything changes. The doubt does not disappear, but it becomes weaker. Your motivation does not explode, but it becomes steadier. Your mind does not become perfect, but it becomes clearer. You realize now that motivation is not about feeling strong. Motivation is about choosing to continue even when you feel slow, even when you feel uncertain, even when you feel afraid. You whisper to yourself, I can continue, even with doubt. I can continue, even slowly. And this small whisper becomes a powerful truth inside your heart. The afternoon light begins to move across the room. Shadows shift across your table. The day continues. Time flows. And you remain there, calm, writing softly, breathing softly, learning softly. Your doubt is still with you, but now it is not a wall. Now it is a doorway. A doorway you are ready to walk through. Because now you understand something important. Motivation does not grow when everything is easy. Motivation grows when you continue through discomfort. You smile a little. A small, gentle smile. Because you know that today, you want a quiet battle. A small battle. A private battle. A battle inside your mind. And that battle gives you strength for the next day, and the next, and the next. The afternoon grows deeper. The shadows grow longer. Your cup is empty now. And you close your notebook, not with frustration, but with peace. You whisper softly, I did enough today. I am proud of my small steps. And in this simple moment, surrounded by silence, surrounded by stillness, surrounded by your own gentle strength, something beautiful begins to grow inside you. A seed. A very small seed of confidence. It is not strong yet. It is not big, but it is alive. And it will grow. Because you will water it every day, with patience, with practice, with soft motivation, with small steps, with quiet courage. And tomorrow, the seed will grow again. But before tomorrow arrives, this story must continue. Because evening is coming, and evening brings a new mood, a new thought, a new challenge. Evening brings reflection. And reflection has its own lessons for motivation. Evening arrives slowly, like a soft blanket falling across the world. The bright afternoon fades into warm gold, then into quiet orange, then into gentle blue. The sounds outside become softer too. The traffic slows. The voices disappear. The sky becomes calm. And inside your room, the light changes in a peaceful, almost magical way. You sit by the window now, your notebook closed beside you, your hands relaxed on your lap. The day feels long. Your thoughts feel slow. Your heart feels more open than before. And now, as the world becomes quiet, you enter one of the most important parts of your motivation journey. Reflection. Evening reflection is different from morning motivation. Morning motivation is about beginning. Evening reflection is about understanding. Morning is about spark. Evening is about softness. Morning asks, what will I do today? Evening asks, what did I learn today? You take a deep breath. You look outside at the evening sky, where the colors are soft like watercolors on paper. And slowly, your mind begins to travel through the moments of your day. The quiet morning, the small steps, the routine, the interruption, the doubt, the courage, the writing, the feeling of continuing even when it was hard. And as you think about these moments, something interesting happens inside you. You begin to feel proud. Not a loud pride, not a dramatic pride, a soft, warm, gentle pride. Because today, you did not give up. Today, you stayed with your dream. Today, you learned something about yourself. Today, you took a step, a real step, even when doubt tried to stop you. You breathe deeply again, and your chest feels lighter. You feel calm. You feel grounded. You feel connected to yourself in a new way, a deeper way, a kinder way. This feeling is important because motivation grows from kindness, not pressure. Motivation grows from patience, not perfection. Motivation grows from small wins, not big victories. And today, you had a small win. You sit a little straighter. You place your hands on the windowsill. You listen to the quiet evening air. And suddenly, you think of something you rarely allow yourself to think. I am doing better than I thought. This thought is simple, but it has power because for the first time today, you speak to yourself with kindness. You speak to yourself the way you would speak to a friend. You speak to yourself in a way that lifts you, supports you, and warms your heart. And this gentle self-kindness becomes the foundation of your evening reflection. You close your eyes for a moment. You listen to the silence. And then, softly, you begin to ask yourself questions, slow, simple questions that help motivation grow. What did I learn today? What small step did I take? What made me feel proud? What moment helped me grow? What moment was difficult, but I continued anyway? You do not rush for the answers. You let them come slowly, like leaves floating on water. And each answer feels like a small light turning on inside your mind. You learn that motivation does not need to be big. You learn that routine can be a friend. You learn that doubt is not the end. You learn that mistakes are not signs of failure. You learn that progress can be invisible, but still real. You learn that continuing, even slowly, is still continuing. And quietly, inside the soft evening atmosphere, you feel a new truth rising inside you. Every day has something to teach you if you take a moment to listen. You open your eyes again. The sky is darker now. Deep blue. Almost night. Streetlights turn on one by one like tiny stars on the ground. The world feels slow. The world feels gentle. And you feel connected to this moment in a peaceful way. You look at your notebook on the table. You walk over to it. You sit down again. You open it slowly. You pick up your pen, not to study, not to write vocabulary, not to practice grammar. You write something much simpler, but much more important. You write about your day. You write about how you woke up. You write about how you felt tired. You write about how you almost didn't study. You write about how you continued anyway. You write about the small interruption. You write about the moment of doubt. You write about the moment of courage. You write about the feeling of pride. You write about your gentle evening reflection. Your sentences are simple. Your words are soft. Your grammar is natural. And as you write, you begin to notice something beautiful. You are speaking to yourself on paper. You are understanding yourself through English. You are practicing English in the most natural, emotional, powerful way. And without realizing it, your English becomes alive. You are not memorizing. You are not forcing. You're expressing. And expression is one of the strongest forms of learning. You finish writing. You close your notebook softly. You place your pen on top. And in this quiet, peaceful moment, you whisper 3 simple words to yourself. I did well. These 3 words are small, but they are medicine for your motivation. They are fuel. They are energy. They are kindness. They are truth. You sit back in your chair. You rest your head. And something inside you feels strong again, not loud, not exciting, not dramatic, but steady. A very soft strength. A strength that comes from understanding your own journey. And now, as the night slowly arrives and the world prepares to sleep, you understand something essential. Staying motivated every day is not about working harder. It is about listening to yourself. It is about paying attention. It is about reflecting. Reflection is the bridge between today and tomorrow. Reflection transforms small steps into progress. Reflection turns doubt into clarity. Reflection turns mistakes into lessons. Reflection turns effort into confidence. And tonight, as you sit in the quiet glow of evening, you have built that bridge. You have created a soft space inside yourself where motivation can live. But the story is not finished. Night is coming, and with night comes rest. And with rest comes another truth, a truth that many learners forget. Rest is not the opposite of motivation. Rest is part of motivation. And in the next section, as the world becomes dark and your eyes begin to feel heavy, we will explore this gentle truth together. But for now, you sit in the peaceful evening light with a soft heart, a quiet mind, and a small but powerful feeling inside you. Night arrives in a slow, peaceful way. The last bit of sunlight disappears behind the buildings. The sky turns dark blue, then deep purple, then almost black. Streetlights glow like warm circles in the quiet distance. The air becomes cooler, softer, slower. And inside your room, a calm darkness fills the space. Not a scary darkness. Not an empty darkness. A warm, quiet, comforting darkness. You stand up from your chair. Your notebook is closed. Your pen is resting. Your mind feels slower now, softer now, ready for the final part of this long day. You walk to your window again. You look outside. The world feels different at night. The noise is gone. The rush is gone. The pressure is gone. Everything feels peaceful, almost like the world is taking a deep, gentle breath. You take a deep breath too. You hold it for a moment, and then you let it go. A warm wave of calm travels through your body, through your shoulders, through your neck, through your arms. You feel yourself relaxing, little by little. The tiredness from the day begins to melt away. And now, inside this quiet night, we enter one of the most forgotten, but most important, parts of staying motivated every day. Rest. Real rest, not sleep alone, not closing your eyes, not turning off the lights. Rest that comes from inside you, rest that heals you, Rest that prepares you for tomorrow. Most people think motivation is about working hard every day, but that is not true. Motivation grows from balance. Motivation grows from cycles. Motivation grows from rest. Rest is not the end of effort. Rest is the beginning of the next effort. And tonight, your mind needs that rest. Your body needs that rest. Your heart needs that rest. You move slowly through your room, closing drawers, turning off lights, creating a quiet space for sleep. Each movement is slow and gentle. There is no rush. There is no pressure. You are simply preparing yourself to recharge. You sit on your bed and your mind begins to wander. Not in a stressful way. Not in a chaotic way. In a soft, drifting way. You think about the day. The small step you took in the morning. The distraction. The doubt. The courage. The writing. The evening reflection. You think about the tiny spark of confidence you felt. The little light inside you. The seed you planted. And slowly, you begin to smile. A small, honest smile. Because even though today had challenges, you continued. Even though you felt tired, you tried. Even though doubt arrived, you didn't stop. Even though progress was slow, you kept going. And now, after all of that, you allow yourself to rest. Not because you are weak. Not because you are giving up. But because you are human. And humans need rest the way plants need water and the way the sky needs stars. You lie down on your bed. You adjust your pillow. You pull the blanket up to your chest. The quiet night wraps around you like a soft, warm hug. And your breathing becomes slower, softer, deeper. In the darkness, you hear the faint sounds of the night, maybe a dog barking far away, maybe the sound of the wind moving through trees, maybe the quiet hum of a streetlight. But these sounds don't disturb you. They comfort you. They remind you that the world is still here, but it is resting too. Your mind begins to drift again. And suddenly, a small thought appears. Maybe I am stronger than I think. You don't fight this thought. You don't doubt it. You simply let it stay, like a warm candle glowing inside your heart. Because today showed you something important. Not that you are perfect. Not that you always feel motivated. Not that you never feel tired. But that you can keep moving, even on days when everything feels heavy. This is strength, true strength, soft strength. You close your eyes. Darkness becomes softer. Your body becomes heavier in a peaceful way. Your mind becomes quiet. And then, in this calm silence, another thought arrives, a softer thought, like a warm whisper. I will wake up tomorrow, and I will continue. This simple promise is all you need to stay motivated every day. Not pressure, not fear, not big goals, just a soft promise to continue. To take one small step. To keep your routine alive. To accept your doubt. To be kind to yourself. To reflect each night. To rest deeply, and to wake up again with a gentle, curious heart. You breathe in, you breathe out, and slowly, very slowly, your body relaxes completely. Your shoulders fall softly, your hands loosen, your face relaxes, your thoughts slow down until they are almost still. You are ready for rest. You are ready for renewal. You are ready for tomorrow. And before sleep begins to take you, one last realization touches your mind, a realization so simple, so soft, and so true. Motivation is not something you chase. Motivation is something you create. One soft moment at a time. Tonight, you create it through rest. You allow yourself to sleep. You allow yourself to recharge. You allow yourself to begin again tomorrow with a calm heart. And as you slowly fall into sleep, the story of this day closes gently, like a book being placed on a bedside table. But this story is not the end. It is only the middle. Tomorrow will bring a new chapter, a new challenge, a new form of motivation. But for now, you rest, you breathe, you sleep, and you renew your quiet strength. The room becomes silent. The world becomes soft. A new day begins long before you open your eyes. The world wakes slowly, softly, quietly. The sky turns from black to deep blue. The deep blue turns to pale gray. Birds begin to move. The air becomes lighter. And then, little by little, light returns to the world. And inside your room, something else wakes up too. Your motivation. Not loud, not strong, not dramatic, just a gentle, quiet feeling, waiting for you to open your eyes. Your alarm does not ring yet, but your body knows it is morning. You stretch a little. You move your fingers, then your legs, then your shoulders. Your mind floats between sleep and waking. And slowly, very slowly, your eyes open. You blink a few times. Everything feels soft. Everything feels new. You lie in your bed for a moment, listening to the early morning silence. The world feels peaceful again, the same way it felt yesterday morning, but somehow different. Softer, lighter, easier. You breathe in, you breathe out, and the first clear thought of the day appears. I rested. I feel better. This simple thought is like fresh air inside your chest. Yesterday's doubts feel smaller now. Yesterday's heaviness feels lighter. The tiny seed of confidence you planted last night has grown just a little. Just enough for you to feel something warm rising inside you. A new beginning. You sit up slowly. You stretch your arms toward the ceiling. Your muscles feel relaxed. Your mind feels calm. Your heart feels open. And then you whisper something in your mind, something gentle, something kind, something true. Today is a new chance. This is the magic of a new day. It resets your heart. It resets your mind. It resets your motivation. You swing your legs over the side of the bed. You stand up. You walk to the window and pull the curtain open. Soft morning light washes over your face, warm and peaceful. You look at the sky, pale, quiet, promising. And then something extraordinary happens. You feel a spark. A small, gentle spark of motivation. Not because life is easy, not because you are suddenly perfect, not because you have big energy, but because yesterday, you tried, you continued, you reflected, you rested. And now your mind feels ready. Ready for one more step. You walk to the kitchen. You pour a glass of water or make your morning drink. Steam rises. Light touches the cup. Your hands feel warm. And as you take your first sip, a soft memory returns to you. Yesterday morning, you asked yourself one small question. What is one small thing I can do today? You smile now because you realize something beautiful. You actually did it. You took this small step, and today, you can take another. You sit at the same table again, the same spot, the same cup, the same silence, but you are not the same person. Something inside you has shifted. Something inside you has grown. And now, your morning routine feels different, lighter, more hopeful. You open your notebook again. The pages welcome you. Your pen feels comfortable in your hand. And you begin writing slowly, gently, peacefully. Good morning. 2 simple words, but these words are not just a greeting. They're a beginning. A promise. A soft declaration that today, you continue. You continue your journey. You continue your learning. You continue your motivation. Then you write something else, something that comes straight from your heart. Today I want to try again. This sentence is soft, but powerful. Because motivation is not about feeling strong. Motivation is about choosing to keep trying. You take a sip from your cup, you exhale softly, you feel your mind warming up. And suddenly, a new thought appears. Maybe I can make today a little better than yesterday. Not perfect, not amazing, not dramatic. Just a little better. A little more patient. A little more focused. A little more kind to yourself. A little more open to learning. This is how real progress begins. You close your eyes for a moment and listen to your own breathing. You imagine your mind like a small room with a window. And each gentle breath opens that window just a little more, allowing new light, new hope, new motivation to enter. And then, you remember something important. Motivation grows when you begin, not when you wait. So you take your next small step. You pick up your phone or your headphones. You open your English audio practice. You press play. And the moment you hear spoken English, your mind wakes a little more. Your ears open a little more. Your focus becomes a little stronger. You listen to simple sentences. You repeat softly. You smile when you say a word clearly. You laugh quietly when you make a mistake. You try again. And with every repetition, your confidence grows. With every small success, your heart feels lighter. With every minute of practice, your motivation becomes warmer. You realize something. You do not need 2 hours of study to feel motivated. You just need a few focused minutes. You pause the audio and breathe again. Your body feels awake. Your mind feels clear. Your motivation feels alive. You whisper softly to yourself, "This feels good. I can do more." So you open your notebook again. You write a few new words. You create a simple sentence. You read it aloud. Your voice sounds calm. Your English sounds steady. Your progress feels real. And then something amazing happens. You feel proud. Not of perfection, not of speed, not of big achievements. Proud of yourself, proud of your effort, proud of your small steps, proud of your decision to begin again. This pride becomes a warm light inside your chest, the same light you felt yesterday, but brighter now. And then you understand something very deep. Motivation is not a mood. Motivation is a cycle. Yesterday you tried. Yesterday you struggled. Yesterday you doubted. Yesterday you reflected. Yesterday you rested. And today, you begin again. This cycle is the secret to staying motivated every day. This cycle is the soft engine of your progress. This cycle is what transforms ordinary days into meaningful days. As the morning grows brighter, you close your notebook gently. You stand up tall. You stretch your arms. You whisper, "I am ready for today." Not because everything is easy, not because you feel perfect, not because motivation magically appeared. You are ready because you created motivation through your actions, your reflection, and your rest. You walk through your room feeling a little stronger, a little lighter, a little more confident. And for the first time in a long time, you believe in yourself with quiet, steady faith. But this is only the beginning. Because later today, something unexpected will happen. A new challenge, a new test, a new moment where you must choose again. Stop or continue. And in that moment, everything you learned today and yesterday will rise inside you like a warm light. But we will face that moment soon. For now, enjoy this morning feeling, this fresh start, this gentle confidence. Because today, you're becoming someone stronger than you were yesterday, someone calmer, someone more patient, someone who keeps going. And this is what it means to stay motivated every day. The morning continues in a quiet, peaceful way. The sunlight becomes brighter. The shadows in your room move slowly across the floor. The warmth on your skin feels gentle and comforting. You feel calm. You feel focused. You feel like today is going to be a good day. And in this peaceful morning energy, everything seems possible. You finish your small study session. You close your notebook. You take one more sip of your drink. Your heart feels light. Your mind feels clear. Your motivation feels warm, soft, alive. You stand up and start your normal daily tasks. You make your bed. You wash your face. You get dressed. Maybe you prepare breakfast. Maybe you open your window to let in fresh air. The day feels smooth, easy, steady. But as time moves forward, as the world becomes louder, as the day begins to fill with activity, something else arrives too. Something that happens to every learner. Something that often tests your motivation more than anything else. Life. Life arrives with surprises. Life arrives with noise. Life arrives with situations you did not plan. Life arrives with things that pull you away from your studies. Life arrives with challenges that feel bigger than your motivation. And today, life knocks on your door, not loudly, not dramatically, but in a very normal, real, everyday way. Maybe your phone rings, maybe someone calls your name, maybe a friend asks for your help, maybe you remember something important you forgot to do, maybe a sudden responsibility appears out of nowhere. Whatever it is, it comes quickly. It interrupts your peaceful morning. It interrupts your focus. It interrupts your rhythm. And, just like that, your mind becomes full again. You feel your attention shift. You feel your motivation pause. You feel a small, quiet stress rising inside you. You begin to think, I don't have time to study now. Maybe I'll continue later. Maybe today is not the right day. Maybe I'll skip my English practice just this once. At first, these thoughts feel innocent, soft, reasonable. But you know what happens next. You've lived this moment before. If you say later, the day becomes busy, time disappears, motivation becomes weak, and later becomes tomorrow. And tomorrow becomes next week. This is the danger of midday interruptions, not the interruption itself, but the decision that comes after. You stand there, listening to the noise of the day, feeling your morning motivation slowly fade. You feel a small heaviness inside your chest, not strong, not painful, just enough to make you hesitate. You think, I was doing so well, why does life always interrupt me? You feel frustrated. A little sad. A little disappointed. And for a moment, you want to give up on today's practice. But then, something very important happens. You remember yesterday. You remember the quiet moment of doubt. You remember how you continued. You remember how you wrote in your notebook. You remember how you felt proud in the evening. You realize something important. Motivation does not come from perfect days. Motivation comes from imperfect days, when you choose to continue anyway. The midday noise fades away. The small stress disappears. You feel calmer than before. You whisper to yourself, I can continue even on busy days. This whisper becomes another seed inside you, another layer of confidence, another quiet strength. And then, something beautiful happens. The interruption that felt like a barrier becomes part of your motivation story. A moment of growth. A moment of courage. A moment of success. Because today, you protected your progress, you protected your routine, you protected your promise to yourself. Even with noise, even with interruptions, even with responsibilities. This is what strong motivation looks like, not perfection, not silence, not long study hours. Just small, steady steps, even when life interrupts. You stand up again, taller now, lighter now, more confident now. You continue with your day, your tasks, your responsibilities, your work, your errands. But something inside you feels different. There is a quiet satisfaction in your heart. A peaceful pride. A gentle confidence. And then a new thought arrives. If I can continue today, I can continue any day. This thought fills you with warmth. It makes you smile. It makes you feel stronger. It makes you believe in yourself a little more. The midday sun is bright now. Shadows are short. The world is full of movement again. But inside you, there is a small lake of calm. Still, quiet, steady. You carry that calm with you through the rest of your tasks. Through conversations. Through responsibilities. Through the noise of the day. And deep inside, you know something important. Today, you protected your motivation, and that is a victory. But the day is not over yet. The sun will begin to fall soon. The evening will arrive, and with evening comes another moment. A moment of choice, a moment of honesty, a moment of growth. And in the next part of the story, you will discover something powerful. Motivation becomes stronger when you finish the day the same way you began it, with intention, with calm, and with kindness. The afternoon slowly becomes evening. The sunlight begins to change. It becomes softer, warmer, more golden. Shadows grow longer on the floor. The noise of the day finally begins to slow down. People walk a little more quietly. Cars move a little slower. The world prepares to rest. And inside your heart, something prepares to settle too. You've lived a full day. You had moments of calm, moments of doubt, moments of courage, moments of surprise, moments of growth. And now, as evening arrives, a soft question rises inside you. How was today? You don't answer immediately. You just hold the question in your mind, the way you hold a warm cup between your hands, gently, slowly, quietly. Evening is not the end of the day. Evening is the soft bridge between effort and rest, between action and understanding, between doing and feeling. You walk to your window. The sky is orange and pink. Clouds move like slow waves. The world feels peaceful again, and for a moment, you just stand there, breathing. One long breath in, one long breath out. Your shoulders relax, your chest feels lighter, your thoughts begin to settle. You walk to your usual evening place, maybe your desk, maybe your bed, maybe a small corner of your room where you feel calm. You sit down slowly. You place your notebook in front of you. You open it gently, like you're opening the door to a small, private space inside your heart. You see your morning writing, you see your small plan, you see the simple words you wrote earlier. And then, with a warm, quiet smile, you begin. You write, Evening Reflection. The words look simple on the page, but they hold something powerful. Because reflection is the moment when your mind finally listens to your heart. You take a deep breath and you let the day replay softly inside your memory. Not fast, not heavy, not stressful. Just slow, gentle, like watching a peaceful movie. You write the first sentence. Today I tried. It is true, you tried. You woke up, you started again, you practiced English. You continued through interruption, you protected your motivation. Then you write, Today I learned. You learned that interruptions don't have to stop you. You learned that 5 minutes can save your routine. You learned that a new day can change everything. You learned that motivation grows from small steps. You learned that your heart is stronger than your doubt. Your pen moves slowly across the page. Your handwriting is calm. Your breathing is steady. Your mind feels open. Then you write a third sentence. Today, I felt proud. The moment your pen finishes the word proud, something warm rises inside your chest, like a small light, bright but gentle. Because saying you are proud is not always easy. But tonight, it feels true. You pause, you look at your words. You smile softly. You realize something important. You did not have a perfect day, but you had an honest day, a brave day, a human day. And that is enough. You continue writing, slowly, peacefully. I did not give up. I continued even when it was hard. I protected my promise. I stayed patient. I stayed calm. I kept going. These simple sentences become like soft stones building a small, safe path inside your mind, a path you can walk on again tomorrow. You close your eyes for a moment. Your mind feels full, but not heavy. Your heart feels warm. Your body feels ready to rest. And then a new thought appears. Reflection is not about judging myself. Reflection is about understanding myself. There is a big difference between judgment and understanding. Judgment says, I failed. Understanding says, I learned. Judgment says, I'm not good enough. Understanding says, I'm growing. Judgment says, I should be better. Understanding says, I am becoming better. Tonight, you choose understanding. You pick up your pen again and write the final sentence of your reflection. Tomorrow, I will continue. These words feel like a soft promise, not heavy, not stressful, not strict. Just gentle and full of hope. You are not promising perfection. You are promising effort. And that is what builds real motivation. You close your notebook slowly. You rest your hands on top of it. You take one deep breath. You let it out with a soft sigh. Your whole body relaxes. Then you whisper quietly, maybe out loud, maybe only in your mind. Thank you today. It is a small sentence, but it holds big meaning. Thank you for the good moments. Thank you for the challenges. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the chances to grow. Thank you for giving me another day to try. You look around your room. The sky outside is darker now. Night is coming. The world is slowing down again, and your heart feels peaceful because you listened to it tonight. You stand up and stretch your arms. Your body feels tired, but in a good way, the way a body feels when it has been honest and present throughout the day. You walk slowly, calmly, preparing for the night, but inside you, something important has changed. Your motivation is no longer a morning feeling. It is now part of your evening too, part of your understanding, part of your identity. You realize that reflection is not a small habit. It is a quiet kind of magic. Reflection helps you learn from your day. Reflection helps you stay connected to your goals. Reflection helps you be kind to yourself. Reflection helps you continue even when life gets hard. And most of all, reflection helps motivation stay alive. The evening becomes dark. The room becomes quiet. You feel ready. Ready for rest. Ready for tomorrow. But before the day fully ends, before you turn off the lights, before you close your eyes, one final thought comes to you, soft, warm, true. I am stronger today than I was yesterday. This is the power of reflection. This is the power of gentle motivation. Night has fully arrived. The sky is dark now. The world outside your window feels quiet and still, almost like it is holding its breath. Inside your room, the soft evening light makes everything look calm, your bed, your notebook, your table, even your own reflection in the window. You sit for a moment in this gentle silence, letting the peace of the night settle around you like a soft blanket. Your body feels warm. Your heart feels steady. Your mind feels slow and calm. And then, a simple question rises inside you. Why do small steps matter so much? It's a question many people ask. It's a question you have probably asked before too. A question that feels simple, but is actually very deep. You stay quiet for a moment, letting the question sit softly in your mind. You don't rush for the answer. You don't push your thoughts. You let the answer come to you slowly, naturally, the way a leaf falls gently from a tree. You close your eyes, you breathe in, you breathe out. And then you realize something. Small steps matter because they are real. Small steps matter because they are possible. Small steps matter because your heart can carry them. Big goals can feel heavy, but small steps feel light. Big goals can feel scary, but small steps feel safe. Big goals can feel far away, but small steps are right here, in front of you. You open your eyes again. You look at your notebook. You remember the morning writing. You remember the 5-minute practice. You remember your reflection this evening. All small steps, all simple, all manageable, all gentle. But these simple actions slowly changed your whole day. They created motivation in the morning. They protected motivation in the afternoon. They strengthened motivation in the evening. And now, as you sit here in the calm of the night, you understand something powerful. Small steps are the secret to staying motivated every day. You look at your hands resting on your lap. They look the same as yesterday, but you know something inside them is different. These hands wrote new words today. These hands kept a promise to yourself. These hands continued your journey even during interruption. These hands created movement, even when motivation felt small. You lift them slightly and whisper softly, "Thank you." A simple thank you to your own effort, your own responsibility, your own steady heart. You stand and walk slowly around your room, thinking about the meaning of small steps. Small steps are not loud. They are not flashy. They are not dramatic. They're quiet, like drops of water falling on the same stone every day. One drop does nothing. 10 drops do nothing. 100 drops do nothing. But over time, those soft drops change the stone completely. Your small steps are like those drops. One word today. 2 sentences tomorrow. 5 minutes of listening the next day. A little reflection in the evening. A little patience during interruption. A little kindness to yourself when you feel tired. And slowly, softly, your English begins to change. Your confidence begins to grow. Your motivation becomes stronger and stronger. Not because of big moments, not because of perfect days, not because of sudden inspiration. Because of small steps that continue. You walk to your mirror and look at your reflection. You don't see a perfect person. You don't see someone who never feels doubt. You don't see someone who always has motivation. You see a human. A learner. A person who keeps trying. A person who continues even when life interrupts. A person who reflects. A person who grows. You whisper gently to your reflection. I am doing enough. It feels strange at first, but then it feels warm, true, comforting. You sit on your bed, and your thoughts drift to other people, millions of English learners around the world. Many of them think they need big progress every day. Many think they must be perfect. Many feel disappointed when they make mistakes. Many feel weak when they miss a day. But tonight, you understand something they may not know yet. Motivation grows from gentle effort, not pressure. You think of a plant. A small, soft green plant. It doesn't grow because someone shouts at it. It doesn't grow because someone pushes it. It doesn't grow because the sun is perfect every day. It grows because it receives a little light. A little water. A little time, and a lot of patience. You're that plant. Your English is that plant. Your motivation is that plant. Your confidence is that plant. And every small step is like water, keeping you alive, helping you grow. You take a slow breath and lie back on your bed. Your eyes look up toward the ceiling. The quiet night wraps itself around you again. Your breathing becomes even slower now. Every moment of the day begins to settle softly inside your memory. You place a hand on your chest. Your heartbeat is gentle, steady, calm. And you whisper, small steps are enough. Because they are, because they always were, because they always will be. Your mind begins to think about tomorrow, not in a stressful way, not in a pressured way, just gently. Tomorrow you will take another small step, and the day after another, and the day after that another. And each small step will lead you a little closer to the person you want to become. Not quickly, not suddenly, but steadily, beautifully, naturally. You close your eyes now, not to sleep yet, just to feel the meaning of this moment. You have learned something very important today. Small steps are not small. They're powerful. They're strong. They're brave. They're life-changing. And tonight, you are proud of your small steps, every one of them. You smile softly, feeling a warm peace settle deep inside your heart, a peace that tells you. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need giant motivation. You just need gentle progress. And you are already doing that. Tonight, you rest with this truth. Tonight, you sleep with this calm. Tonight, you let your small steps shine quietly inside your heart. The night is deep now. The room is quiet. The world outside feels calm, almost like it is sleeping peacefully. The soft darkness covers everything, but it is not scary. It is gentle. It is safe. It is perfect for closing your day and looking back at everything that happened. You sit on your bed. You pull the blanket over your legs. You close your eyes for a moment just to feel the quiet, just to listen to your own breathing. Slow, calm, gentle, the way your heart has been beating throughout the day. Steady, strong, alive. And then you think about the day, not to judge it, not to criticize, not to worry about mistakes, but to understand it, to feel it, to honor it. You begin to replay your morning in your mind. You see yourself waking up slowly, gently, opening your eyes to a new day. You remember the small spark of motivation that woke with you. You remember the small 5-minute practice, the soft words written in your notebook, the gentle promise to yourself that today you would continue. You smile softly because it feels true. You did begin again. You did continue. You did take one small step. And that small step became a foundation for all the other steps you will take tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. Next, you remember the midday challenge, the interruption, the noise of life pulling you away from your practice. And you remember how your heart hesitated, how your mind wanted to give up. But you didn't. You chose to continue. You chose 5 minutes. You chose gentle effort. You chose your small step. And in doing so, you protected your motivation. You honored your promise to yourself. You learned a lesson. Motivation does not disappear because life interrupts. Motivation disappears only when you stop. Then you think of the evening, the reflection, the quiet moment with your notebook, the soft, warm realization that you did enough. That small steps are not small. That your efforts matter. That even on an imperfect day, you can be proud. You remember the gentle words you wrote, "Tomorrow I will continue." You remember the calm satisfaction of understanding your day, the peace of knowing you acted with intention, the light feeling inside your chest, warm and steady. And now, as the night fully surrounds you, everything comes together. The morning, the midday, the evening, your small steps, your quiet effort, your gentle courage, your reflection, your rest. All of it forms a circle, a cycle of learning, doing, resting, and growing. A cycle that will repeat. A cycle that will carry you forward. A cycle that is the true engine of motivation. You breathe deeply. You feel the circle inside you. Not loud, not dramatic, not flashy. Just soft, steady, gentle. And you realize something very important. Every day is a full circle. Every day contains motivation, interruption, effort, reflection, and rest. Every day is enough. Every day matters. Every day counts. You smile softly. You whisper to yourself, "I have done enough today. I am enough. I will continue tomorrow." You lie back on your bed. You feel your body sink into the mattress. Your arms and legs relax completely. Your shoulders fall softly. Your face softens. Your breathing becomes slower, calmer. The peace of the night fills your entire body. You think again about small steps. One step in the morning. One step after interruption. One step in the evening. Small, gentle, manageable. And each step builds on the last. Together, they form the path you are walking. And that path is your progress, your learning, your motivation, your growth, your transformation. You close your eyes fully. You feel your heartbeat. You feel your breath. You feel your quiet confidence. And in this moment, a soft, warm thought rises inside you. Motivation is not magic. Motivation is practice. Motivation is reflection. Motivation is small steps. Motivation is patience. Motivation is kindness to myself. And then you feel another gentle truth. I am creating motivation. I am creating progress. I am creating my own journey. The night is still. The world is calm. And you're ready. Ready to sleep. Ready to rest. Ready to begin again tomorrow. Ready to continue the circle. Ready to take another small step, one at a time, in your English learning, in your life, in your growth. You take one final deep breath. You let it out slowly. You feel a quiet smile on your face. Your mind is calm. Your heart is peaceful. Your body is ready for rest. And in the quiet darkness, you let yourself drift softly into sleep. The day is complete. The circle is complete. And tomorrow, a new circle will begin. A new day, a new chance, a new opportunity to continue. But for now, the day ends gently. You rest. You breathe. You renew. Thank you so much for joining today's lesson here at Mr. English Lab. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below telling me what you want to learn next. Your support helps the channel grow and helps me create more lessons for you. Take care, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next class.